Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Great to be here with you on this Total Wellness Tuesday of the Cabral Concept. We're going to go over the question of whether you should take vitamin C or not after your workout. There are two different camps. There are those people that say taking vitamin C after your workout is detrimental in order to be able to repair your muscles, to make mitochondrial adaptations, and much more. And then there are other people who say, well, taking vitamin C works as an antioxidant and helps with recovery and reduces overall stress on the body. So let's explore that right now. Let's actually look at what the research says. And I think based on that results, you'll know how to and also when to take your vitamin C. So let's dive right into it. So first things first, this pertains to cardio-based workouts or weight training workouts, any type of workout that would cause a muscular adaptation. Now, oftentimes you know that there's an adaptation taking place because you get sore the night of or day after the workout, whatever it might be, but not always, right? You don't always have to train so hard that you are feeling all of that delayed onset muscle soreness or some type of soreness from the workout. But if you are continuing to better your best, let's say that each and every week, you try to go up a little bit in weight or go up a little bit in reps with your weight workouts. Or for your sprints, this week you're doing 4 sprints. Next week you're doing 6 sprints, same exact speed, same exact duration. You're making gains, right? You're making adaptation. So think of it that way. It's not whether you're only sore or not. It's also whether you're making adaptations, right? So if the workout is built to get better, this is actually really important. Those are the times that your body is going to create more muscular breakdown. So that means there are tiny microscopic tears in the muscles so that they can rebuild stronger and will rebuild stronger as long as you're not deficient in your proteins, your carbs, your fats, all the different things that you need for muscle repair, specifically amino acids, and then all the nutrients your body needs. But also that you are not blocking the signals for repair. All right. So when you break down muscle or break down tissue in general and you're making an adaptation, you actually get signals from the area that needs repair in order to then bring resources to that area. Now, if you do not bring the resources to that area specifically within 24 hours, and now it's happening again right away after the workout, the repair is beginning, to 72 hours, which is really the end of most of that repair, although it could be a little bit longer, it could be up to 5 days potentially, or even more if you just ran, let's say, a marathon where there's a lot of tissue breakdown, where some people don't fully recover for 2 to 4 weeks. You want to be able to do everything you can to speed up that recovery. So here's what the science says. Since breaking down or working hard or getting a personal best, making an adaptation creates oxidative stress, and taking an exogenous antioxidant like vitamin C, which actually reduces oxidative stress, which is typically a good thing on the body, right? Well, it can actually block the signaling of oxidative stress to what needs to be repaired. And that makes sense, right? Because you're taking an antioxidant, and vitamin C really does work. That's why when people say, oh, there's no, supplements, they don't really work. No, they really do work. If you know when to take them and you know what product to use, they work remarkably well. Like I wouldn't have gotten better without nutritional supplements. That's why when I wrote the book, The Rain Barrel Effect, it's not, number one, it's not the only thing, but it's one of the 8 processes in which you get well. And there's really only 8, right? And I talk about those in the Rain Barrel Effect. And that's the de-stress protocol. And one of the S's is scientifically backed supplements. So vitamin C works. There's no doubt about it. However, we have nuances, right? Not everything is just black and white. It's in the health and wellness based area. It's a shade of gray, right? That's really what we're looking at. So let's talk about this. How much vitamin C could you take to not block the process? Well, people throw around different numbers, but the truth is the more oxidative stress you have, technically the more you could take over baseline and it wouldn't disrupt the process. But the amount is usually around greater than 0.5 gram. So greater than about 500 milligrams, right? Which is 0.5 gram. 1 gram is 1, right? 1,000 milligrams. And so when we look at that, we say, okay, we have to be careful to not take more than 0.5 gram of vitamin C after a workout. And the reason is that it is possible that it begins to block the signals that allow your body to repair, but also that improve what is called mitochondrial biogenesis. So this means the mitochondria's ability to adapt to the new stress, so create either stronger mitochondria or more mitochondria in the tissues. So this is extremely important. Now, if you might say, well, I am not someone who's constantly looking to better my best and make great improvements. Okay, then taking vitamin C, even at a half a gram, which most people don't need to take more than a half a gram necessarily to a gram at a time anyways, just for absorption reasons. But let's think of it this way. If your main goal is to decrease oxidative stress, to help with the aging-based process, and to improve your inflammation levels and immune system, then vitamin C can and maybe should be taken after workouts where you feel overly inflamed. So I'll give you another example. When I was getting back into exercise after Addisons disease and chronic fatigue syndrome and all that, I didn't train to failure. I used what's called a graduated exercise program that I teach in the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute. And so, and I've talked about it many times in the podcast. So basically I went from gradually walking, gentle cardio, body weight exercises, hard for me to do as someone who just wanted to jump back into the gym. But I used vitamin C judiciously. Like I used it, I should say liberally. I used it all throughout the day to keep my inflammation levels and oxidative stress levels down. And it worked great. But then once I progressed to heavier weights, I did not use it at my typical dinner time on those weight training nights. And that is because vitamin C, breakfast, no problem. Lunch, no problem. But let's say you're doing a 4 or 5 o'clock workout. Okay. So what we want to do then is not take it 4 to 6 hours if you want to be more cautious after your workout. So you can take vitamin C at breakfast. You could take vitamin C at lunch. And if you're doing a 5 o'clock workout or so, end of the workday, not a problem. But if you're trying to make gains, if you're continuing to push yourself, you just wouldn't take it at dinner. Because in an ideal world, you're taking it 4 to 6 hours. You're not taking it for 4 to 6 hours after your workout, so post-workout. And if you want to be on the more cautious side, it's 6 hours. So let's say you do that 5 o'clock workout at night. Hopefully you're going to bed by a decent bedtime. You're not going to be taking vitamin C that night. Now, again, I'm really fine-tuning things that for those people who want to make the maximum amount of adaptations, right, gains. So, but this is a good way to do it. So the way that you can do it is you can say, all right, since vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin and it's out of my body within 4 to 6 hours, I'm good to take it upon waking and with breakfast if I want, however you want to do it, and with lunch. And then I'm just going to stop in the couple hours before my workout because that's not the main concern. The main concern is when you take it during your workout or post-workout. Now, don't worry about the small amount of vitamin C in food and different things like that. And also, don't worry about some supplements that might have 100 milligrams of vitamin C. That actually does not seem to have anywhere near the effect. It is a larger dose, a high dose, it's actually called, of a half a gram or more. So 500 milligrams or more. So in some of my nutritional supplements, pre-workout or peri-workout, as well as post-workout, there will be a small amount of vitamin C. So for me, it's somewhere around like 250 milligrams. I have not had any issues with that. So some people may be a little bit more sensitive, but if I'm creating also a lot of oxidative stress, me taking a little bit of an antioxidant and especially good colorful fruits and veggies, I actually feel better. Like I feel way less inflamed. So there is a little bit of bio-individuality to all of this. And that's why we have to be careful online as to the all or none methodology. Not true. If we want to be on the safe side here, here's what the literature says. Don't take 500 milligrams or more, could be higher for some people, right? But not typically lower. 250 milligrams seems fine. But do not take it for 4 to 6 hours, 500 milligrams or more post-workout. So if you were to do a first thing in the morning workout, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., okay, well, when could you take it? Let's just count out 4 to 6 hours. Let's just say 5 hours to be right in the middle. All right, so if you do a 6 a.m., 7 a.m. workout, at lunch you could take your vitamin C. or mid-afternoon or dinner. All of that would be totally fine. I actually like to take vitamin C twice a day. I like to spread it out a little bit. And the reason I like to do that, I technically like to take it 3 times a day. I like to do a smaller amount over the course of a day. Not everybody has time to do that. Not everybody wants to do it. For me, it's pretty simple, right? Because it's in my daily nutritional support powder in the morning, but then I can very easily just add a full spectrum vitamin C at lunch and another full spectrum vitamin C at dinner, and I'm good to go. So for me, it's pretty easy. On the nights that there's a hard workout, then I'm just not going to take the extra vitamin C, and I can just use, if I'm using the daily nutritional support, get a little bit in that. So it really is based somewhat on bioindividuality, the overall level of inflammation that your body tends to produce. And then also, are you seeing progress? If you are not making progress in terms of lifting heavier weight, running faster, being able to run longer or do more sets or reps, whatever your goals are over, let's say, a 12-week period of time, and you're taking high levels of vitamin C, well, I would say now there's an issue. And there might be more than one issue. Of course, you might not be sleeping properly. You might not be fueling properly. There's more than just vitamin C. But I would say, yeah, that makes sense. In that instance, let's get rid of that at dinner if you have a nighttime workout, or let's get rid of that at breakfast until we get to lunch. So I wouldn't overthink this, honestly. I would just eat good, healthy food. Don't take mega doses of most nutritional supplements. If there's some vitamin C in your shake or your products, I think you're totally fine. If you are looking to maximize all muscle gains and you see yourself plateauing because you're adding now higher levels of vitamin C, especially if you're doing like 2 grams after a workout of vitamin C, okay, this might be a time to begin to work backwards. So that's what the science says. That's what the research says. See how it works for you. Do what works for you. Don't go overboard, just like I talked about in the should you eliminate bananas from your smoothies, right? It's like, well, here's the science says. How's it working for you? Are you doing okay? Keep on keeping on. All right, everybody. Hopefully this was helpful. Head on over to stevencabral.com/3245 for all the big takeaways from today's show. And of course, I'll be back tomorrow on a brand new Cabral Concept. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything. Functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.